In this video I'll show you 13 different Easter eggs I'm sure most of you have never even seen or heard of. Like, did you know the characters from Persona 5 are basically having a great time in Stormwind? No, I'm not kidding. Look, chatting in front of the well in the Stormwind canals you can find 3 different NPCs. Maikoto is referencing Makoto Nijima, Saka Kid is supposed to be Ryuji Sakamoto, with his last name being a reference to his persona called Captain Kid, and obviously we can't forget Ren Arsane, who's referencing the main protagonist of the game, Ren Amamiya, with his last name referencing his main persona Arsene. Now you may think that's all regarding Persona 5 references, but no. Everyone who played this game will know that I have not mentioned every single main character. If we go to the Stormwind Graveyard, we can find 3 more different characters. Anataki is Anne Takamaki, Harriet Mura is a reference to Haru Okumura, and the last one is Yosuka Mercy, who's supposed to be Yusuke Kitagawa, with his last name referencing his English voice actor Matthew Mercer. For anyone unfamiliar with the Persona series, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, JRPG franchise in Japan, which initially got popular in the West by Joker being introduced to Smash. At least that's when I first heard of it. Coming in at number 2 is a small cute fact if you love cats. If you put out a cat from your Pets tab, it will follow you around like any other pet. You can't pet it, you can't pick it up, but what you can do is target the pet and type /sit. After a little bit he will walk towards you and jump on your lap, taking a little nap. I tried this with other pets I had, but none of them seemed to work, and I only got it to work on cats. If you find any other pet, let me know down in the comments. For number 3 I have a very special but still very classic one, which most of you should know by now. If you go down to the Dalaran sewers, you will find a group of 4 turtles and a rat sitting on a pile, surrounded by toxic looking vials and flasks. Some of them even have weird insects floating inside of them. This is an obvious reference to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, in which 4 young turtles were dropped into the sewers, where they wandered into a discarded barrel of toxic ooze, which mutated them. They were then found by a martial artist called Splinter, who also used the toxins to mutate into a giant, talking, human-sized rat. If you take a look around Crystal Lake in Elven Forest, you will find a little house with 2 NPCs standing outside on the docks. One of them is called Lee Brown, who is a reference to nobody actually. But if you take a look, behind that guy you will find the fishmonger, Jason Mathers. Any horror fan should recognize him by now, as he is the antagonist Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise, who began his murder career in Camp Crystal Lake in the summer of 1984, just like Crystal Lake in Elven Forest. If you enjoyed these Easter eggs until now and want to see more, and trust me, I have a lot more facts and secrets, let me know by liking this video and hitting the subscribe button. It really helps out a lot, and this way I know what you guys want to see and what you don't want to see. I truly appreciate every single one of you. And now on a funnier note, if you continuously click on an NPC, they will get annoyed and eventually tell you to
You hear? Ishnu Allah. Enough already. Have you nothing better to do? Be gone.
Forget something? I'm kind of busy. Quit it. What's your problem? Knock it off. You're getting on my nerves. Need help?
talking about annoying someone. If you are queued to something, using the group finder tool, you will see a green eye appear on your screen, indicating that you are currently queued to something and giving you information on how many players are still needed for the content. Now if you spam click the eye with your cursor, it will turn red and become angry at you. Very understandable. I wouldn't like being poked in the eye for a minute straight either. But anyways, it's still a good way of releasing your rage after wasting 2 hours of trying to get into a +5 on your 516 item level mage. The next Easter egg we're going to talk about is this guy right here. Anyone recognize him? If you couldn't recognize who he is supposed to be by now, Solaire of Andorhal is a reference to Solaire of Astora from the Dark Souls series. He even has the same outfit, and if you target him and type /praise, he takes on his iconic Praise the Sun stance and yells Praise the Light. As a Souls game fan, it was pretty funny when I found him. Only guy missing now is Patches, but who knows, maybe in the future. Taking our way to BFA, more specifically to Samsung Valley, there's a small group of a few animals and a hunter called Robin. Some may think it's just a hunter taking a break, but if you take a closer look at all the animals sitting there, you can recognize pretty much instantly that this group is supposed to be a reference to Winnie the Pooh. I mean, come on. A donkey, a pig, a tiger, a huge golden bear, and a guy named Robin. That combined with the pots of honey hidden behind them is basically proof enough. Staying in Stormsong Valley, on the western part, there's a place called Millstone Hamlet. This place has some chickens, and if you attack one of them, they will all turn on you and start attacking and chasing you. Back when BFA was current content, they were able to kill you, even in raiding gear. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a reference to the Legend of Zelda series, and a legendary feature that if you attack a chicken, the whole coop will follow you around and try to kill you. This feature goes on even until now, with the current Zelda games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. At number 10, there's a subtle Easter egg at the barbershop in Stormwind City. When you enter this place, everything seems alright. There's a bald gnome waiting for people wanting to cut their hair. He even seems very kind. But if you walk up to his room and look at the corner, behind the table you will find gnome bones hidden beneath floorboards and a knife on top of the table. Now you probably heard this part a dozen of times, but what people apparently forgot is that this whole thing is a reference to Sweeney Todd. the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. He's even holding the same knife that's laying on the table upstairs, which, to be fair, is a basic barber's knife, but still. We know how detailed and subtle Blizzard can get with the Easter eggs. Back then, there even wasn't a gnome cutting our hair, but rather a goblin called Sween Neatod. So maybe this gnome guy really doesn't know what happened before he bought this place. On a small little rock island in southern Netherstorm, there's a blue shrine flashing different letters. If you look closely and read from top to bottom, you will see the word Nova written on it. For anyone who doesn't know, Nova is a character in the StarCraft series. More specifically, the main character of the cancelled game StarCraft Ghost, which looks like it was going to be a game like Metroid. Sometimes, if you're lucky enough, you will find an NPC called Nova Terra, stealth next to the shrine, and if you turn up your in-game audio high enough, you will also be able to hear the StarCraft theme. Unfortunately, this game was cancelled many years ago and this shrine is probably just a memory for it. Another funny and kind of brutal Easter egg is involving this little pet.
Look at this dude.
You can get this plump turkey only in November, during the Thanksgiving event, and if you put him out and walk near a campfire, he will emote and say that he's sensing his destiny. Shortly after, he will jump into the campfire and... yeah. Moving to Pandaria, specifically to the Cresserang Wilds, you will find an island filled with different types of frogs. Nearby, you can also see a sign warning us from some type of danger, with a big red frog on it. If you kill too many frogs on this island, a rare elite called Croaken will spawn and start casting frog justice. Surely this doesn't do anything when you're 70, right? And that's all the secrets for you today. But if you want to learn more about secrets and Easter eggs, let me know down in the comments. If you want to know how you can get 12 mounts in under an hour each, click on this video right here, where I show you how to get them all as fast as possible. And don't worry, there won't be any bronze drakes or twilight drakes or any mounts of that level mentioned. Have a good one, and I will see you soon.